Hello YouTube! Here we are at the final mission. Hell's Precipice. This is the last mission of Prophecies. It's quite big stuff's happened. We found out that the Vizier was actually a bad guy. So all that controlling the undead and stuff. Turns out that yeah, he was evil. He was the undead lich who we've seen following us ever since well, not following us since Kryta, but we've seen him since Kryta, and he followed us to the Fire Island chain. Now that we've opened the door of Kamali and basically killed the most powerful of Messart who were defending it, we found out that the creatures he promised us as allies were actually our enemies, and I guess he aims to take over the world with it, because he said that he was going to send them to Rin and to Lion's Arch and stuff, so not looking good. And that's the door itself, and you can see these spirits are all coming out. Well, no, the door is these shattered remains across the floor here, because of course this outpost is at the end of where the last mission was, and this is where the soul batteries were, which we destroyed, and destroying each of them kind of broke the door apart. And now these spirits are flying out, and the titans are rising in the lava wherever the Vizier goes, and we now know why he wanted the Scepter of Ore, because you can't control the Titans unless you have the Scepter. And that explains why the undead were attacking Kryta, because they were under his command and he was looking for the Scepter. So basically we did wrong, and now we've got to try and put it right, and this is the last mission. Let's have a quick recap. Well, I kind of already recapped, but we'll read the journal and see where we take it from there. Mission 17, Abaddon's Mouth. How could I have been so blind? All this time I trusted Vizier Kilbron's counsel and thought he had all our best interests at heart, while in truth everything he did was to further his own agenda. I did what everyone asked of me. I opened the door of Kamali, but to my dismay I learned that the door held back the evil titans, and the Messart were actually attempting to protect the world from their wrath. After the door cracked, the Vizier revealed himself to be a Lich Lord, and took control of the Titans with the Scepter of Ore. With the Messart in shambles, there is no one left to stop the Lich but me. I have little time before he sends his Titans across Tyria to rule the world. Okay, let's read the mission, the outpost description. The switchback route that runs along the ridge of Abaddon's Mouth is known to any who have ventured here as Hell's Precipice. One look into the caldera of the furious volcano will explain why. Yeah, this place is, it looks pretty unstable, almost as if the volcano is about to like erupt and destroy everything. Let's speak to the mission NPC. Who this time is a spirit, and you will remember that loads of spirits were coming out when we were destroying the soul batteries. We're finally going to get our answer as to why they've been killing things on the Bloodstones. The Vizier has used you, just as the Messart used my soul. What more do you need to know? Who are you, Jacob? In life, my name was Jacob. I was one of the unlucky chosen who were executed on the Bloodstone in the Maguma jungle. How did you get here? Thousands of chosen, just like me, were killed upon the Bloodstones. Our souls were captured inside the soul batteries and brought here to power the door of Kamali. So there you go, that's why the Messart have been ordering the White Mantle to kill the chosen all this time. Really, they were the tool of their own destruction, because the only reason we didn't like the White Mantle was because they were killing innocent people. But the White Mantle were only doing that because they didn't want the chosen to rise up and destroy the door, and they needed their souls to keep the door intact. So you can kind of see how they definitely did bring this about on themselves. And Glint didn't help either, really, because Glint was the one who told them, basically by writing the prophecies, that that they were going to die. So kind of it's all their fault, really. But most of them are wiped out, so it's just us and the Titans now, really. That means that, yes, those spirits you fought after destroying the soul batteries were once chosen, just like you. But time and their imprisonment has changed many of them. Not all of us were transformed into those hideous things. Some of us remained good and pure of heart, and we were grateful to be free. But thanks to the Vizier Kilbron's treachery, our release came with a price. The release of the Titans. What do you know about the Vizier? Before the searing, he was the advisor to the King of Or. We already knew he was from Or. In all matters arcane. When the Charr reached the borders of Or, the Vizier delved into the sacred tomes beneath Ara, the city of the gods. There he found and unfurled one of the forbidden scrolls. Reading the dark magic upon it, he managed to turn back the Charr invasion, but at a great cost. The resulting explosion sank Or into the sea and transformed the Vizier from a living being of flesh and bone into an undying lich made of ichor and decay. Now that he possesses the Scepter of Or, the Vizier can control the Titans. There is no army on Tyria powerful enough to defeat them. With such power, there is little that would stand in his way. I just want to make something quite clear, because a lot of people seem to, after thinking about the plot later on, they seem to think that the Vizier needed the Scepter of Or to control the undead. And of course that's not true. Ever since he became a lich, he gained the power to control the undead. He only wanted the Scepter to control the Titans later on. So, what must I do? You must catch that lich. Catch Vizier Kilbron and stop him from using his power to destroy the world. I open the door, now I'll put things right. You have made the right choice. Godspeed me, and thank you for releasing me from my eternal torture. So yeah, you can tell he's a Crichton because he's got the face paint on him. Right, so how the hell are we gonna close the door again? Are we gonna have to sacrifice loads of Chosen? Or what? That will be revealed in the mission. Now the mission itself, I've done some tests. I wanted to make sure that on this final one I knew how to solo it, because I don't know, I just look a little bit clueless in these later videos just because I've been winging it. And I found there are basically two ways to do it. If I use this build I've got on me right now, I can run the first half of the mission. I can skip nearly all of the enemies, and it's brilliant, and I can get to nearly the end of the mission, where there's a particularly cool boss fight. But that boss takes me ages to kill. I mean absolutely ages. And then there's another boss after that who takes me even longer, and that boss is quite risky using this build. So then I tried to use the spirit spamming build in this mission, and that takes me ages to get to the bosses at the end, but I can kill the bosses themselves really quickly and really easily. So you see my dilemma there. Both methods can complete it, but I didn't want to have to show you guys like hours and hours and hours of footage of me trying to do one half of the mission or the other. So I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to film the first part of the mission using this build, and then without filming, or I might film, just do it like really quickly, me doing the mission again on the spirit spamming build, and then we'll resume filming when I'm at those bosses. Just then that way we get a nice compact view of the mission, without boring everyone at this end part. I'd like it to be mostly about the plot. So I think that's all I really wanted to say before we went in. Right, yeah, it was. So let's do this. This is the last mission. Let's go, enter mission. This mission was designed for 8, but you are about to do it with 1. Are you sure? Hell yes. Alright, so just before we begin the run properly, for anyone who's not played, I guess this Let's Play's for, but it doesn't seem like most people who watch it haven't not played it. Wow, that came out sounding weird, didn't it? Yeah, so these are the Titans. Basically, if I hit the big ones, these burning ones here, in melee range, they'll make me burn all the time, so I have to try and not hit them. And when you kill them, they split in half, and 2 more will appear, and then when you kill those 2, 2 more will appear. So even though there's only 2 of them there, an unsuspecting team might run in and think, oh yeah, I'll kill them, no problem. Actually, they would take ages to kill, and they're quite a pain. So you'll see on my build that I am using no paradox. I'm going to take a leaf out of my Thunderhead Keep book. I just want to get... Oh, here's the Lich. He's just teleported in. Ah, my friends, how nice of you to stick around. You see, I have much work to do. I bid you all adieu. So are you going to go away? Or can I kill you? No, there you go. He's gone. Alright, so he's basically going to be taunting us. Oh my god, what am I doing? He's going to be taunting us through this mission. I'm being charged by Titans. And now I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh yeah, I took a leaf out of the Thunderhead Keep book because I just want to get it done. I know it's a bit cheap that I'm using consumables, but there you go. We're going to go with this full consumable set again. And just basically blast through the mission. So let's do it. It's not too far. This usually would take teams quite a long time to get through, but I have the joy of just sprinting past. It's amazing. Costs a lot of money, but it's fun. So these imps that we're coming past here, these are also titans. They just look like the regular imps. I guess they ran out of character models or something. Anyway, they really do pack a punch. They're the hardest thing to get past when you're spirit spamming. Basically, you have to set your, because they do so much area of effect damage, you have to set your spirits out in a really nice long line. Otherwise, they just blow the spirits up in like 2 spells, and then you're left alone, and they kill you. Okay, so you can see the Messarts down there, the Undead Lich, sorry. He says, the Messart are being quickly swept away, as will all those who stand before my legions. Soon you will all be crushed. Son of a bitch. So yeah, the Messart, I mean, it's kind of ambiguous now. What do you guys think? Do you think the Messart were actually good guys? They were just trying to defend their race? And in that case, does that mean that the Seers were bad guys? Speaking of the Seers, there's a Seer in this mission, and he talks about the bonus for us. Once again, that seems to be the trend here in the Fire Island chain. The bonuses are usually to do with the Seers. But he says something quite interesting. He mentions that lots of things have changed through the ages, but the Titans haven't, which kind of suggests that the Messart and the Seers always knew about the Titans. And they must have sort of made up some of the races that existed long before humanity were even brought to Tyria by the gods. It's just an idea. Of course, we know the dwarves were here before the gods as well, and the dwarves are quite heavily involved with this story, so who knows. Come forth and march across Tyria to Hakewood. Remember, that's that village in Kryta. Basically, he just says everywhere. To the Henge of Denravi, and you see these are the portals he's summoning here. To complete the mission, well, to complete this first part of the mission, we do it by coming up to these portals and killing the portal wraiths. These are the things that have created the portals. And to stop his undead legions from getting all over Tyria, we deal with it this way. We take out their portals, which isn't necessarily a complete fix of the problem. I mean, they're still pouring out of the door, of course, but it does... Sorry, I thought I nearly died there. It does impede his plans quite strongly. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, so this bit's a little bit risky as far as the gameplay goes. One of the bosses basically start, there's one boss that appears here right at the start, but after 5 minutes of fighting here, 2 more will appear from the lava up at the top. And though one of those can inflict weakness on me, and of course that's quite, and the smaller titans can inflict weakness on me as well, so gotta watch out for that. But as long as I'm quick, that's why I'm using these skills, I should be fine. So there you go, that's the first 3 portal racer out, and you can see the portal disappeared. I really like these portals. They look a bit naff, but they are quite cool. I mean, I just like having the, I think it's concept art that you can see in the middle of them, and it's just a cool little effect that they do there. Is that concept art? No, that just looks like a really blurred screenshot, doesn't it? Of course, you can tell where this is. This is Lion's Arch, and interestingly, they don't show you sort of the Lion's Arch town properly. You'll see that that's a wall there, and behind it there's a giant fortress, and that's basically where the royalty used to live in Kryta before they abandoned it when the Chara invaded. And that's probably the most iconic area in the town, I guess. You just don't really see it as far as the game goes. Not until Guild Wars Beyond, at least. But yeah, I'll speed it up while I kill these next couple of portal wraiths. Assuming I don't die, that is. Nah, I'll be fine. You can see how much defense I've got. It's brilliant. Okay, so now I'm being hit with a weakness. You can see there. But we've killed the next portal, so I'm getting going. I'm also crippled, which isn't a nice thought, not at all. So shadow form's dropping a little bit early, you can see there. Luckily none of these guys that can interrupt like those White Mantle could in Thunderhead Keep, but it's not a nice feeling. Usually I don't get hit by the weakness until a little bit later. I think it's because I stood around a little bit at the start, talking about certain elements of the story. Should be okay, should be okay. And after we kill this portal, we will be triggered into a cutscene, which will take us to safety. Yay, safety. Okay, so there you go. There you can see one of the other bosses is coming now. Every time I use Whirling Axe, it's inflicting bleed. Look at all this crap that's on me. Just look at it all. Oh my god, I forgot Shadow Form. Ah. Oh no, no, no. Come on, he's nearly dead. Oh, there's one more portal wraith. Oh no. I might die. Oh shit. Come on, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Come on. I get so much more nervous when I'm doing it on camera. I shouldn't really. I mean, I've done this a couple of times now. There we go. That's all of the portals down. Boom. And I mysteriously disappear, and the enemies are like, okay, fine, I'll walk off. Okay, so here's the Lich.
This meddling is nothing more than a minor annoyance. You're only delaying the inevitable.
Sure, whatever you say, buddy. I like how I gesture there for the rest of my party, even though they don't actually exist. Oh, I haven't brought Charlie out. I wanted to have Charlie out on this last mission. It's very important. Alright, yeah, you stretch your wings intimidatingly. I wish I could teleport like him. So this here is going to be the first boss coming up. We're going to learn who the hell that was at the end of Thunderhead Keep that was with the Lich. Who is working with him?
Thanks to you, I command an army powerful enough to conquer all of Tyria. And now I intend to use it.
Well, they look very intimidating, don't they?
But before I go, I have someone here you might like to talk to. Perhaps this will slow you down long enough to let me finish my work.
Do you recognize the sword and the armor?
Rurik?
Dun 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 dun.
I'll leave you to get reacquainted. I'm sure you have much to talk about.
Holy crap. I thought Rurik died. Well, the Lich can control the undead as we know, and that is an undead Rurik. What an asshole. He is the first boss I was talking about earlier. You can see the portal behind the door is still going crazy. Stuff's been bursting to get out of there for ages, clearly. Okay, and the Lich has ran over back to the Bloodstone, which is where we started this mission, if you remember. That's where the mission outpost was. And where the previous mission ended. And he's just summoning loads of titans everywhere.
I am the Flame Seeker. All of Tyria shall bow to me or be destroyed.
So we were never the Flame Seekers. Well, I guess we were for a while, but he's the true Flame Seeker.
Forgive me. It is not my will to fight you, but I have little choice in the matter.
Oh, okay. So Rurik can talk, and those guys attacked me straight away, so I just wanted to get out there. So, yeah, it looks like the Flame Seeker prophecies were really written about the Vizier. And what does that say about Glint? She sent us here, but she never told us about him. Some people think that that means she's kind of like a bad guy. Some people just think that she only told us what we needed to know at the right times, because if you remember, she did say to us, I'm sure you have questions, but there's some stuff you must find out as your journey continues. She does seem to have good intentions, if you ask me. She just chose not to tell us that. Right, now this is the part where it gets quite slow. I'm going to still kill all of these guys except for Rurik. In fact, I might even kill him using the Shining Blade before I switch to the other build and show you guys that. But for now, okay, let's do it. I'm going to super speed this all though, because this bit's a little bit long. Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to bring Disrupting Chop. I brought Dismember instead. Okay, so I will see you in a minute back in the mission with my Ritualist build on. See you in a sec. Okay, so this is just me starting off the mission and running through. You can see I dodged these titans here. This was actually the start of about a 2-hour long trek. That bit at the end with the portals just takes so long to do. With this build, but I mean I eventually do make it. You can see I do some quite sneaky things and slip through, but yeah, this just took ages, so I'll see you in a sec when we're at Rurik. Woo! Alright, okay, here we are at long frickin' last. Okay, I've just got here, we've got our cons up since I had some spare ones, so you know why not. Let's do it. So I want these sparks here. These are really dangerous to the spirits, as I said before. So what I've got to try and do is get those warriors without the sparks coming, which is going to be quite hard. I'm trying to do it with a longbow at the moment because it's downhill. It's quite dangerous. So do you know what? What I'm going to do is eat some of these, get my health up to 600. There we go. Now they're coming at us just fine, and we can summon our spirits. Probably should have done that first. Do you know what? This is probably going to be a long bit as well. I will super speed this also. Okay, so what I actually did for this bit was I rendered it, and then I rendered it again so I could get it even faster than I usually get them. It's not too hard. The fire imps are annoying because they're on that hill. You don't really come across anything else like that in the actual mission, so the spirits are constantly obstructed and they're much harder to take out. In fact, they managed to get me down to 40 health in a minute. There you go, which is quite bad, but I do eventually kill them, and then we take out Rurik. Rurik himself isn't that hard. He's got a lot of defense but no way to heal himself, and he has loads of tactics skill but 0 tactics.